sensitive. A life has been lost. We need to look at the particular circumstances, and we don't have the full facts to look at the particular circumstances. But it's a hard and difficult conversation that we must also have. We can't brush things aside. Otherwise, as the family said in its conclusion, we cannot prevent future occurrences. The only way we do that is to have that hard and difficult conversation and share the blame amongst ourselves and agree that what parents do is wrong. This is what wards do, which is wrong. This is what school managers and teachers do, which is also wrong. And then we find the interface, the common ground for all of us to now begin to think the solutions.
A scene just came in my mind that you are a student. You go to your school's sick bay or whatever, and then you go and tell the sick bay person that your head aches, and the person will say your head is not aching. Yeah.
Is it your head, or is it your ache? So Martin says, I am an Akora and can confirm that Achimota has
He's what, an Accra?
Yes. Achimota has
an Akora.
I am not an Achimotan, so I cannot say. Can you mention my own?
Yes, like if you show it
mention
to me,
my
if
own.
you show it, this is Tree has written.
Is what?
Tree.
I didn't even know that.
You see your life. Well, read it, yeah.
Achimota has a very good hospital that actually serves the community. I think we all know this.
Yes.
Okay. It is called the Achimota Hospital. And it's a top-tier hospital. The only issue is if she wasn't allowed to visit the hospital promptly, which sometimes happens because some students run to the hospital just to avoid schoolwork.
True, very true.
Or to get permission to go home. So two things here. They are running away from schoolwork. And when they run away from the schoolwork, where do they go? So they run away. There's general cleaning in school. You get permission to go to hospital. You don't go to the hospital. You don't go home too. Where do you go? The second thing is that some of them take the permission to go to the hospital and instead go to the school, go to home. Now, he says, my utmost condolences to the family. There's a second part, but there are two issues he has raised here. Now, if you are a parent, your ward comes home, whatever exert it is that the person comes home with, then you ask this ward, you are home on what grounds? He tells you, oh, I sought permission to come home. Okay, what did you tell the school before coming? A lot of the times we are so happy to see our wards, we don't even ask these questions. You think that if children continuously take permission to go to hospital, they don't go to the hospital, they end up going home. The parents will not be critical of that. And they will not, I almost said smash. You won't rebuke your child for lying about going to the hospital because it's a serious thing. If you lie that you are going to the hospital and you don't go, you are creating a certain impression that will result in the outcomes that we are seeing today.
Other students who genuinely
need it will have a difficult time getting it. So that is where again parents come in. When your ward comes home on an exit, take the time. You are happy to see, but please also take the time. That is the other thing. Yeah. That's why I said he has raised two critical issues. Again, if this ward doesn't go home, go somewhere else, and something happens, we will go back and attack the same housemaster. That the housemaster was not diligent at his job. That is why the ward went somewhere and something else happened to him. So let us understand the position we put teachers in, that teachers have a responsibility. The same way the parent also has a responsibility. My father was a teacher. My late father was a teacher. And I belong to that old school teacher's son. You misbehave, your father will discipline you first before he takes you to the school. Then the school will add its own discipline to what your father has already given you at home. I think that parents, we have to begin to be a bit more critical about some of the things. Your ward is in school, he has come home, you are happy seeing your ward, that's fine. But also, just because you want to avoid certain things, ask some basic, questions. So he goes on to say, boss, in my time when you are sick, what you do is get a permission chit to go to the hospital. We had no sick bays. The hospital is easily accessible, and we actually were giving priority service when we went to the hospital. Masa, you are wrong. It is not true. Martin says, old Achimotans are called, say it again.
Accra.
He says it's not true.
Accra, okay, well, Accra is Akokra in Chi.
Is it the same? It's not Akokra, it's Accra.
They should take their school.
So I think Martin has given us some insight, and it's you see, parents, teachers, school managers, Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, NAT, NAGRAT, CCTV as well. What's the name of that union?
Did you say? This is CCTV. But
the guy is my friend, though. The leader of the group is my friend, though.
Everybody has a role to play.
Everybody has a role, and that conversation is to start now.
I would put a lot of the responsibility on the school, on the teachers, on the housemasters, because when the child is in the school, you are taking care of the child. Take very good decisions in the welfare of the child.
I agree with you.
Err on the side of caution.
I agree with you absolutely.
Respond to emergency. Even if it's not an emergency, the person says, my head aches, my stomach aches. Take it serious. Act like the person was your own child. And then, so doing, we can avoid some of these unfortunate things. It's now a good time to hear from you. You can call us on 0559-242.
Willie Crosby, I beg you,
Yeah.
because a lot of the newspapers reported on that gold button. Would you give me just
in fact, so we wanted
2 minutes
to do the call, to do the calls after sports. We'll have a few moments to do some more details in the papers, particularly the one that you were stressing on in the Daily Guide. No? We'll talk about it, and then we'll get into the big conversation. Works for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody says schools have the data of kids' parents. Okay.
Yes.
When, I suppose exact is what he wrote, is taken, they should call parents and align, not just trust the child and let it. Okay, I agree with this one too. Yes, I agree. So
don't take advantage of it and run away.
Yes. So the moment you release a child to go home,
you are
on
bound
exit,
to release the child.
You are bound to release the child.
Call the
but
parent.
also alert the parent that your ward is on exit to
say that no, your ward is about to take exit. He says he wants to come home. Do it like that.
Okay, so your ward is on exit, headed to the hospital. Your ward is on exit, headed home.
Your ward is about to get
No, at what point is that notice served?
So when the child comes out, please, I want Ezia to go to hospital. Call the parent. Antiama, Kofi Aba, or your parents at a hospital, or say the Yemi and the intimidate man Manako, or hospital, by Achimota Hospital, the man Manako Achimota Hospital.
Of course, it's here.
Of course, it's here. Understand? Fulfill all righteousness. Call us 0559-242-717, 0556-91015. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my bro.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Me Pacho Bright near me Casafre Abusokai.
Right, Pacho.
Mami Chami Honorable Johnny. And now I'm a Martin and Kameniaji Vibre, me money happy New Year.
Pacho 60s now 10 in Canabadi and Pacho Kwasem so. Oh, we lost him. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from? I'm listening. In there, you won't greet anybody yet.
Another more shout out to the other man.
Ready.
I don't remember for that. No conscience, Chama. Chairman for surgery. Nanny MC of an honorable set 7 Sababani. Namuku good board, and Pasama Kawasamana. The Akame Yosemite good board. someone more can or a good pa. That's why it is good to say this PTA no do it and our stand. My parents need so and say account as and someone more can or Benya be doctor friend and wait me fakey a medical report that manabano because we feel there on a banner to the bishops to go and work in the school. When you mean that those things are part of the training now, I am calling away then or move from this reading be able to chew a grind now. The Nina part of where the training now. I am of Manoa than
right.
But it's on with that. No mess, now for no, your school I did. No, my in a teacher's no fra, the crack I often no crime take a course. And I don't see a problem to say in as much as they ever blame a teacher. Your parents no mess, so Jan was school mono. The teachers no fair, another in your spring course. I need to where they respond.
Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir, your name and where you're calling from, please.
Bacho Aziz in Mikasafi Domi.
Aziz, meet you.
You see my enchi, and I can make Mr. Abu.
Aziz, Kawasam, so.
Yamin Shra now, your case. Bacho, the PT Assembly would discuss you now a demufwa. But some of the PT executive, no. Me share that end to also maintain mwase because PT that me tia say o PT ni say ebia mo ni teacher no mo ko din komo na ma ko ye meeting bi nti before mo be take decision no mo ba si parent no mpacho enye sa na etie. Hello me bra.
Yes boss mpacho meet you.
Mpacho enye sa na etie. Nti say ti sa sisi executive na ye yi omo no a omo take your decision. I'm not parents in the sooner. Omubufu ewa bonte because ebia money teacher for take decision. Na man be ka kire ye kawo fo no a ebia ya wo de entimi e de na ebesi ntimi be ya bibia ye be ka se yemfa ye hu nsem because me kai bibia me ba ni eco school ebi oko school no a na ye say ye be tia sika bi 300 Ghana cedi na me ba ni wo fon one. Over for one now, over for two now. Uniform na yedima free now. Almost this say you just can answer. You just ask no so that uniform no so na yesanka. Nti almost share ho yema because some of the school ni bi mu na omo ye de omo pe omo ye the government ni pe. Omo share ho yesu.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Elliot,
speak to me.
Thank you. Aziz Michelle, support you. So school bill. The PT Asamuna Mukano Power. So school bill,
we lost him. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My father being Pacho Bright.
Bright, Pacho meet you.
Me Pacho Unimalaji Yakundo, dear.
Minimalaji Yakundo.
Okay.
Opeso Chano. Bright, where Bright?
Bright. Yes, sir.
Who is Alaji Yaokondo?
Honorable Alaji Yaokondo. Oh, yeah. In charge of operation, coordinator at the National Security.
Oh, okay.
It's a big
office.
So where is his office?
The office was Osu Castle. Oba Odu Osu Castle now say Okoti for pay. They do the office.
So you work with national security?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. As what?
As an operation.
You
operation
are
officer.
Operations officer.
Yes. Sir.
Oh, then we know a big man. You are a big man. We know you.
Okay.
So national security operations. Typically, your day. What do you do?
Sometimes they report the every Honorable Alaji Akundo. Oh, you're in charge.
Okay.
Sometimes for best my lay a call survey, lay a share, near the report again. They do all ISO TKI now for the police for any soldier for account, they are called operation.
Okay, so you are not office people? As in, you don't sit in office?
No. You're in our office.
Okay. Okay.
So about crowd, a lot of people come there. And when the package was, the only part the problem. If you are be edgy, you'll be assassin. Getting longer, that time for near there. Papa no, actually was a shumu, a year should move found. Say, assassin, now faculty can be idea. Or the police for a bear wage manaya assassin.
So if Crosby and I are fighting over land, and I come to you and tell you that Crosby is stealing my land, you will come and help me take the land from Crosby?
If only the land belongs to you, you will bring your document that show that the land belongs to you.
Okay.
And Alaji will make sure they will go to the site and do like Ombeshishomu, wait, say assassin, what I will do documents abano. They both moving na moving documents now I'm on my Shishumu I found.
So is this for NDC members? You do these kinds of works for NDC people or all Ghanaians?
All Ghanaians. And NDC from the office no, it's all Ghanaians. It's not for only NDC.
Right, Kawasam so why?
About your school PTA ayeka. Sometimes PTA no. And yes, school be and now almost a year PTA no. Almost fair for any almost tenacity. Almost so almost fair for all the time we call PTA. As I say, if I can say Yakunya, Edia Mas school no. Now you're Jessica, Edia fair for us. Now say Nipa there say 100 and I say 200. It was school more. Now Ubia it's 200 cities for Akunya. Share dresses are a bit provided their mass schools. And to some of the headmistress, you should say, with Eddie Jessica, Eddie Free, I will follow her. I would be your moon.
Hello, good morning. Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please. Hello. Your line is breaking. Please call me back.
Is it clear now?
Yes, speak. Let me hear.
Okay. I am Toto Kochi. Ashimasu, calling from the Republic.
Yes, I'm listening.
Precisely.
Okay.
All right. Let me say a very good morning to you and your co-panelists, and then to my one and only honorable drama, and then our constituency or our Kwabenya MC, Mr. Abu, the Admo Director. Adam Agbenyefia. May God protect this honorable man. Let me commend my brother Bright that since he has been recruited, then it means to one day I am also going to be called. And we thank God Bright has been recruited. Bright, kudos to you. And kudos to our boss, the Honorable Yao Kundo. Comrade Bush, you know something? You made mention of this school exit about our children. You see, sometimes, and the negligence at the part of parents is too much.
Right.
Because all what they could do is they would push the child to the school. That is all. Whether the child is doing well, the attitude or the in and out of the child, how is it being or how is it like the careless? More or less like they can even call the school to ask of their child or their children. They don't care. So teachers to see that these parents of these children are just negligent. So if the child wants to go outside the school, they just give the exit where the child is going. They don't care. They don't know. And you can imagine the danger involving that. And sometimes if they call for PTA, some parents are too busy to say they will not attend PTA meetings.
And whatever the outcome of the meeting is, they will stand against it.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, you're not there to even share your view.
Yes, I understand. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from, please.
And that is Eben Kwabina.
Eben, I'm listening. Please get closer to your phone.
Okay. Hey, how is my Yellen doing?
Helen is fine.
Oh, okay. It's called Yellen. You know,
I hear you.
She had that name when the gendarme people came to power and everything about you, but we don't see their performance. Anyway, let me say good morning to all NDC parties for the way man job doing to support this economy. Therefore, first time in our history, energy sector and levy as energy sector legacy debt have been able to clear. Kudos to John Mahama, His Excellency. We appreciate you much. It really showed that what experience and is in governance. My brother, for me, I dispute with others who are saying this country is a godly country. I hope you also share the same view that this country can never be called a godly country.
Well, it's your opinion. Please go ahead.
No, you see, and my opinion could be your opinion as well. Because we can't be in this nation that we call a country a godly country. But when you watch most of our attitude, it's very bad. Why should headmaster and some schools take unauthorized fees? Why are we doing this ourselves? And I don't get it. I can't even think that. Please, let's put stop this. And even not all headmasters alone. Most of the institutions, the little changes this year, they must kill somebody. Why? You go to hospitals everywhere. They clearly see that health insurance is working, but they'll tell you it doesn't support it. Please, we call ourselves a Christopher. Let's do what Christopher do. You see, when you read the Bible, in the book of Acts, the people say, they look at the people in Antioch and say, these people, from the way they are doing their things, they are Christians. They are the followers of Christ. So we call this country a godly country. We are begging all institutions, wherever you find yourself, do things according to what? Christ.
Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Akilod. Calling from Zenupun Katamanso.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Sembako. Once a Crovia is Ganin Nimbiano. Basta, you must be. And I'm a wa.
Yeah, no, correct.
Because Dr. Eddie, General the President DD, as of DD, into Mamma Fasa Quenya and Chia Honorable Eriko Puku, and then the Juma or Yamimana who are Denia Bradwin and Tia so. That means, Kunakasi of our Dachibia or then 2 bases should be. Namenchiami, Maniacas, Menchiami, MC, Kunkatamasu MC, Honorable TK, baby be away. Now saying or buy a Osha or Chamodin health insurance office be our Masusiwa, man or ye Juma. Teacher following me bawo agree. Mebo school needing agree. When him say last I am Mumba Queen, Aqualani Yale, and a call your friend is saying one of the teachers were and a quadri fool. And a friend is no fun serious no soon. Now, the housemaster and so called who knew him say. Teacher Bakubi or call it dear, may the Akolana and send you Akolano corn in Kenya. By all means, teacher and the funny solution, Amakolano. O could do one and teacher and soon you or 2 teacher and a year no Pamwa Kolani to say, I said, I did them for Sweeney so. And as you know, Akolano soon. At the size soon or the call, we say the dormitory. Or call a woman bed, Mikano Pana, my friend, and we don't say, or more master no echo baby. But by midnight, into a bayano, and a move ration, they call headmaster, a housemaster, and son of man first aid. I will agree. Cecilia, PTA, I'm working. Sabani Casami and you PTA, me bois. But agree for the Sia who follows so ding. Who can't PTA board no so who the voice message to a near delay, who the 2 year delay,
Tindi and a teacher solely being so echo classroom, no more changing qualaro classroom. Oh, PTA home. Nanka PTA Jacolana is so clear as I will phone is so clear. Netika and collection at your classroom, no more go much agree na making. Well, in Tabano Van in NCO, no more moji PTA, no more PTA, no more so ammonia account to my parents no. Yet your movie a parent in a say, ammonia account to my said yes, can or more Spanish scanning on one account, but your platform no so. Oh, can you end up? You have a company, bra, or one new washroom.
May I say. Hello, good morning.
Mr. Conley.
Yes, sir. Please talk to me.
This is one from Wabiga.
Yes.
Let me say good morning to your cherished listeners and Nadi Jibril, Deputy Election Director, and Ghana Abdul, and Jama BB Mori, whatever is, and my MC and my MP, Elikui Vakumu, and Edmond Agu. In fact, they say the voice of people is the voice of God. The listeners should listen to what the parents are saying. What will help them? What will help the teachers? What will help the students? They should understand them. Because your sister is because who see a yard so they should listen to the parents. Thank you.
Thank you. My last caller for the morning.
Resigned or has been fired? Is that what is in the news this morning?
Never. I mean, Kets Yesu GFA president has made it clear that Utuado is going nowhere. So he's leading us to the
going
World Cup.
nowhere.
And now it's about 5 months to the World Cup. So we want to keep Otin is going nowhere.
So Ket has been listening to all the things that we have been saying, and he has come to the conclusion that the man is going nowhere.
Fortunately for him, he's a media person. He went to GIJ, he started as a journalist.
We know.
So he listens to the media, everything that is being said. So he knows what you sit here in the morning and talk about.
And he has all the things we have said. He still came to the conclusion that the man is going nowhere.
What happened to support your own?
Don't worry. He's not the only our own.
Prioritize made in Ghana.
He is not the only made in Ghana.
You want which one?
But he's the finest made in Ghana.
According to what?
The metrics.
Which metrics?
World Cup.
This one is called what? The man has taken Sudan to the AFCON.
He's been the Black Stars coach
they have passed the...
No problem at all. He's been the Black Stars coach before. We've seen what he can also do.
That was then. Circumstances were different.
This is Corey says get out of it.
They are sacking me.
The producer says you should get out of it.
They are sacking me. But Coach Utuado,
you're a nation wrecker. You're a nation wrecker.
Sumo be mamie, sumo be mamie. I need some help. Put my head on fire can't cool. My head on fire can't cool. Obi mamie, sumo be mamie, sumo be mamie. I need some help. Put my head on fire can't cool. My head on fire can't cool. Of late I've been needing racks, a little too much money. Margin in a mullah, naturally in a mamuna. When side the wicked die, na me to me rest. Me nya some operations, na me to me party. Got to join him sound, Mrs. Sebras is not way. Me age is a fine wine, me age is a fine wine. Me got to join him sound, Mrs. Sebras not even way. Me age is a fine wine, mommy age is a fine wine. Obi mamie, sumo be mamie. I need some help. Put my head on fire can't cool. My head.
It's now time for sports here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Coming up this morning, Real Madrid parts ways with manager Xabi Alonso, and also Hearts-of-Oak manager, that is Masoud Didi Dramani, is calling for the inclusion of Solomon Agbasi and Benjamin Asare in the World Cup squad. This and others here on 3FM Sunrise. Let's settle for the details here and start off with some news concerning the 2025 Africa. Let's now settle for the details and start off with some news concerning the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, because it has reached the semi-final stage and it's getting very, very interesting. Egypt will face Senegal while tournament host Morocco take on Nigeria. Now, my colleague Bill Ishan has been reporting from Morocco, where he's been stationed, and sees that there will be a lot of drama in the semi-final. He also reviews the quarter-final games that were played.
The tournament began with 24 teams, and now there are 4, with Senegal, Egypt, with Morocco, and Nigeria all booking their places in the semi-finals of the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Nigeria were dominant against Algeria in their 2-0 win in Marrakesh, with Victor Osimhen scoring his 4th goal of the tournament, moving just one behind Brahim Diaz, who has been in fine form for Morocco at the tournament, scoring in 5 consecutive matches at the AFCON. But Algeria were definitely not happy with the referee decisions, officially filing a complaint to CAF to investigate the officiating during that game. But that wouldn't matter to Nigeria, as they have a date with Morocco, who did defeat Cameroon by 2-0. CAF would also be investigating that game for officiating decisions, as there were some disgruntled people on the decisions that went against the Cameroon in that game. But Brahim Diaz did score in that game, as Morocco have also booked their place in the final four. And Egypt managed to defeat Ivory Coast by 3-2, with Mohamed Salah stepping onto the plate and also scoring a crucial goal for the Pharaohs of Egypt. And Senegal, of course, being the other team to book their place in the semi-finals, with Iliman Ndiaye scoring in that 1-0 victory over Mali.
So we know that the semi-final games will come off tomorrow. Big games to look forward to, and we will be monitoring that. Egypt, they would be facing Senegal, and host nation Nigeria will also have a tough test against Morocco, and all these games will come off tomorrow, and we'll see which teams qualify to play in the finals. Remember that the last edition saw Nigeria play the finals against Cote d'Ivoire, where they lost, and the Super Eagles will be aiming at ending their 12-year drought at this time. Now, still on the continent, CAF has actually launched an investigation into alleged misconduct involving players and officials during the AFCON quarterfinal matches between Cameroon and Morocco, and also Algeria and Nigeria. CAF reviewed match reports and video evidence and referred the cases to a disciplinary board with possible sanctions pending. The body is also examining a separate mixed zone incident involving media personnel. CAF condemned all inappropriate behavior and warned of firm action against those who violate professional standard. Morocco and Nigeria advanced to the semi-final and will face each other in Rabat tomorrow. Let's now turn our focus to the local scene where Heartofok head coach Masoud Didi Dramani has thrown his weight behind goalkeeper Benjamin Asari and also Solomon Agbasi, insisting both deserve places in Ghana's squad for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Drawing on past examples, Dramani stressed that healthy competition among top-performing local goalkeepers is vital for the Black Stars.
They are all good for the national team, and so there were times when we had Salif Ansah, we have Mohamed Odum, and then we have all this, and Heartofok had good goalkeepers who were both in the national team. So I think that is what is supposed to be, because they are all at the top level, because both of them are in their top shape, and so it is the right way to go about it, because both of them are all one of the best goalkeepers in our local league, and when you give them the opportunity, then the grounds will show who has to lead.
Heartofok manager or head coach, that is Masoud Didi Dramani, calling for the inclusion of both Solomon Agbasi and Benjamin Asari into the Black Stars team for the World Cup. So on the local scene, Asante Kotoko have completed the signing of younger forward Dogo Yakubu. The 21-year-old signed a 3.5-year deal to join Porcupine Warriors from Mid-City Football Academy. Dogo is known for his speed, movement, and goal-scoring instinct. He is expected to play a key role in the second half of the season for Asante Kotoko. Now let's head to Europe, where Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has praised new signing Antoine Semenyo after the forward made a positive first appearance in the FA Cup 10-1 thrashing of Exeter City. The Black Stars forward announced his presence with a goal and an assist, and Guardiola says he is satisfied with the 26-year-old and expects more from him.
The impression is what they have done in Bournemouth for many years is apparently, I'm pretty sure that is a really nice guy, and in few actions he showed what he showed in Bournemouth, and hopefully can continue to do it here.
That is Pep Guardiola there talking about Antoine Semenyo, who got a goal and an assist on his debut for Manchester City. The Spaniard tactician said whose side will face Newcastle in the Carabao Cup semi-final also believe it's an opportunity for Antoine Semenyo to go on and do greater things, and also expecting a few of the new boys to announce their presence.
No, I don't know what should be more pressure on them for the fact they are champion. So done really well since many years, and now we are again. They won last season, semi-finals, and you're right. So they are the champion, and the opportunity for a lot of us, but especially for a lot of new players to reach a final.
It is today. Newcastle will be coming up against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Let's now move to Spain, because Real Madrid have parted ways with head coach Xabi Alonso just months after appointment in June 2025. Now, despite initial optimism, the 44-year-old endured a difficult spell marked by injuries, inconsistent results, and internal issues. Alonso was brought in as manager back in June 2025, replacing Carlo Ancelotti, who left for the Brazilian national team. For more insight, let's now bring in Bernard Gutierrez, sports journalist from Spain.
It doesn't come as a surprise that Xabi Alonso is not Real Madrid manager anymore. Actually, it feels that he was a dead man walking for a while, and that his fate was sealed long ago. That's why it doesn't really matter that they are calling it a mutual decision, because it was pretty obvious that he didn't have Florentino's trust for a long time, and that the board was just waiting for the right moment to fire him, and what a better moment than after losing against your biggest rival, FC Barcelona. Thing is that Xabi Alonso is not blameless on this situation. It's pretty obvious that he never won over the locker room, that some of the main stars of Real Madrid were not aligned with Xabi Alonso's project, that they were not aligned with what he was asking them to do. But at the same time, it feels it was too soon, and that he lost the confidence of the club really early on his tenure as a manager. The main problem I see is that Real Madrid was going backwards, that they felt that they were doing different things, that they were doing better in the Club World Cup last summer than they were doing right now. And that obviously speaks volumes about how poorly the project was going. That being said, I don't think Xabi Alonso was Real Madrid's main problem. And right now, they're gonna have to figure out how to improve a squad that was lacking of a proper planification, and that was missing key players in a very important positions. What we're gonna see now with Arbeloa probably is gonna be a moment of extra motivation for many players. We're gonna see players that are gonna be happy, or at least relieved, that Xabi Alonso is not the manager anymore, but the problems are long-standing for Real Madrid, and actually some of the issues Xabi Alonso was dealing with were problems Carlo Ancelotti had to deal with last season.
So, Spanish journalist Gutierrez talking about Xabi Alonso, who has departed Real Madrid and is being replaced by Alvaro Arbeloa on the interim. The 44-year-old joined them from Bayer Leverkusen, but things didn't go as planned. To some more news, Andrea, you made his competitive football return after featuring for NAC Breda in the goalless draw at FC Groningen in the Dutch Eredivisie. The former Black Stars captain came on in the 57th minute as NAC Breda searched for a late winner, marking his first official appearance since May 2025. London-based sports journalist Rahman Osman believes the DIU would give Black Stars coach Otuado something to think about ahead of the 2026 World Cup.
The reason Andre joined that team is to play football and go to the World Cup. That is just the absolute truth. The exciting part of it for me is that he puts the ball in his own court. If there's anybody to decide if Andre will go to the World Cup, I think it's him. He needs to perform. He needs to score goals. He needs to prove that he's really good enough at this age to still be in. He's given himself a shot. NAC Breda at the time are struggling. They're trying to avoid relegation. So nobody can speak against him if, say, he went there and scored maybe 8, 7, maybe 10 goals to save them from relegation. What a story that will be. You don't ignore stories like that. I mean, his foundation, again, he highlights the Ghanaian history at the club, which will easily help him. Kamal Sowa is still there, Dennis is there, and so there's that feeling of home and stuff like that. As to fitness, Andre Ayew is one of the most professionals you've ever seen. Even when he was here in Accra, he spent about 12 hours in a day. He would go to Nanya, he would come back home, get massages. But again, in the same clip, he highlights that there's absolutely nothing that compares to playing. So that much fitness is not there. From now till June, will he get there? What kind of form will he be? So it's a World Cup year. So many sub-stories will come. But in the end, he's done something. He's going to give the coach a decision to make and give Ghanaians something to keep looking at watching the Dutch League.
Let's see what happens with Andrea Ayew, and that brings us to the sports updates here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yako. There's more on all our socials at 3 Sports GH, and you can also log on to www.3news.com/sports. There's more after this.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Coming to the mountains, sight and I grandpa.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Coming to the mountains, sight and I grandpa.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names. Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego. We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite stars, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names.
Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego.
We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite stars, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names.
Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on.
Global Wings Travel and Tours in partnership with Media General is inviting you to experience the best of Malaysia and Singapore this April. Enjoy 9 unforgettable days with return flights, luxury hotels in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. Enjoy daily meals, visa facilitation, city tours, Genting Highlands with cable ride, intercountry transfer and so much more. So why do you have to wait? Make your April 2026 Malaysia and Singapore trip a reality. I need you to call or WhatsApp these numbers: 0550 188 181, 0550 188 181, or 0553 688 398. 0553-688-398. Call or WhatsApp these numbers today and make your journey, make your trip to Malaysia and Singapore this April, make it a Well-meaning members of the party as having been conducted in a free, fair, transparent and credible manner, faithfully reflecting the will of the party delegates. And the New Patriotic Party views the conduct and utterances of Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng as highly reprehensible and inimical to the values, the unity and integrity of the party. Consequently, the party has invoked the relevant provisions of its constitution to commence the necessary processes to expel him from the party, strictly in accordance with due process. And this is a statement signed by Justin Frimpong Kodua, the General Secretary of the NPP. We'll have a conversation with Dr. Samuel Efriye. He's a political analyst. He's joined us shortly. But this is in relation to the NPP beginning formal processes to expel former Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation. And that is news reaching us this morning, Professor Frimpong Boateng. And that follows comments he made in a television interview describing the party as fake and questioning its internal democratic credentials. I say again that in a statement signed by the party's General Secretary, Justin Frimpong Kodua, the NPP said it had taken due notice of remarks made by Professor Frimpong Boateng on Channel 1 TV on Monday, 12 January 2026, during which he openly stated that he no longer considers himself a member of the party. According to the statement, the former minister also made what the party describes as disparaging remarks about the NPP and alleged that the 2023 presidential primaries was rigged in favor of former Vice President Dr. Bawumia, the party's presidential candidate for the 2024 general elections. The statement stressed that the contest was free, fair, transparent and credible and had been widely accepted by all aspirants who participated. The NPP further described Professor Frimpong Boateng's conduct as highly reprehensible and inimical to the values of unity, integrity of the party, adding that his public comments undermined the internal cohesion and discipline. Consequently, the party has invoked the relevant provisions of its constitution to commence the necessary processes to expel him from the party, strictly in accordance with due process. Let's have a conversation on the back of this and to speak with a political analyst. He's joining us at the moment. Dr. Samuel Efriye is joining us. Doc, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Alfred, and I wish you a happy new year. I think first time engaging you.
Right, my name is Noble. Thank you so much for joining us regardless, and Happy New Year to you too as well.
Oh, thank you.
This is the latest coming from the NPP. Let's talk about the timing. Based on the fact that the party in a few days, in less than 19 days, has to elect its flag bearer, massive internal elections on the 31st of January 2026. What does this statement, what does it say to the larger support base of the party?
Well, Noble, you know, the political landscape of the NPP is in such a way that people feel victimized. Some people also feel rejected or maybe not being considered as a party member, or maybe during their government time, some people feel that they are not part, or maybe they have been sidelined, or maybe they were not treated well. So some of these individuals tend to come in to sway their support to certain individuals within the party when it comes to elections. So in the political landscape, as it happens most of the time when parties are trying to put themselves together, or when parties have certain issues within that is within, they tend to have some of these things being seen. So some of us are not surprised anyway, but in all, it tends to give an indication that still there are key issues within the party that some people, disgruntled members, are supposed to be bring on board, or we are supposed to bring them on board for the party to have that kind of cohesion. Because if that is one example of Frimpong. As yesterday, I listened to him on one of your TV stations. So it's quite unfortunate that it happened. But when it comes like this, it gave an indication, because the statement that he made was to let members know that the election that they had in terms of the presidential candidate, it was rigged, of which Ken Pump is also have been putting this assertion into in their politics. So it does support Ken's issue. But my concern is that when you make this statement, what are the evidence to support this argument? And that is what it matters most when some of these things are. If you don't support with proper evidence, then it means that you are following the line, or you are being branded as being at least I don't know what to describe, but better in a way. But if you provide an evidence to support your argument, then it will let your argument be weighty for all of us to discuss and see the way forward for the MPP. So it's a political strategy, one or the other, as is being seen all the time, that some disgruntled members or some PP members will tend to come up and throw that into the political landscape. Because there are some few days, I think about 2 weeks to the election. So it gives an indication of reinforce some individual or presidential candidate positions and others also. So the party will come out and make some of these just to make things cool for the party leaders.
Let's talk about his utterances yesterday and the positions that he took, that re-electing Dr. Bawumia as flag bearer would be a train wreck for the party, describing the current makeup of the party, or the current party, as fake. From the political standpoint of view, what effect or what impact could it have on the elections on the 31st of January?
Yes, Noble, sometimes if you can make a statement, Japan, if I make a statement that if the party don't elect the right, or let's say a good leader, the party will go into abyss like the CPP. And he coming out with a leader, because yesterday he was describing who should be a leader for this country, and he gave some attributes of visionary and coming out with certain things. And, then it gives credence to what Ken is saying about the candidate or the one to be elected. When it comes like this, it makes some members who are undecided, I'm talking about the delegates, undecided to have to think through before, because there are some few percentages that they are still undecided to vote for.
Right.
Bawumia or Ken. And these are the people that maybe they are targeting, this message is targeting, or the statement that he made is targeting, to sway their mind towards any candidate that they think that they have to vote for. So it is that credence that they are dwelling on. And it might work or it might not work, depending on how the other party or the other candidate also come out with. And I think that is what the party has immediately come out with a statement, just to quell that kind of statement that Prof made.
Let's now talk about the response of the party, how the party is reacting to this, that they have begun processes to expel Professor Frimpong Boateng over the fake party remarks. The party's position right now in dealing with what Frimpong Boateng has said, Professor Frimpong Boateng has said, how do you receive the response of the party?
Noble, I'm one of those individuals that I have been speaking against the party leadership, that they have not been effective, they have not been well organized, they have not been focused, they have not strategized to ensure that the MPP party was put in a pedestal that they are in now. So, and it's too late, and it's quite unfortunate that the party is coming out of this process of experiment. There's no need. because they have other individuals that have made even harsher or maybe some hard statements towards certain individuals or even party members that the party has not made any kind of action towards these individuals. So when it comes like this, and that is what I'm saying, that the party leadership of the MPP has failed, and even they failed before even 2025, that is within 2025. The moment they lost the elections, all of them should have resigned to put an interim executive to run the party. So seriously, Noble, I think that the party, there's no need. They have to quell it in a way and let the things through as they have almost few days for their elections.
And finally, Doc, so going forward, based on the response of the party that you certainly now do not agree with, what impact could that response have on the party's internal elections or the party's makeup in general? Professor Frimpong Boateng is a stalwart of the NPP.
Yes, Noble, you see, if the party structure, if the party leadership is not strong, and I always make this statement and compare it with the NDC national executives. If party leadership lose their focus, lose their gap, lose their authority, lose their decision role, overlook some certain things, it tends to make the party weak. And the MPP problem that they are going through is through the inability or the ineffectiveness of the party leadership. So for some of us, we believe that the MPP will run effectively if new leaders are being elected or being in the position. If not currently, I don't see anything coming out with the party to put strict or disciplinary issues for certain individuals. And then, because when you do that, then it makes you be seen as being discriminatory for party rules and regulations. And even, that some of them want to come out of a rerun. I think that the national organizer and even the secretary want to. So sometimes you see that they have a way of not stamping on their authority in certain decisions or rules and regulations of the party for certain individuals when they go wayward.
Look, I know that I said that would be my final question, but lastly, coming at a time after the party had granted, if you like, amnesty to all disgruntled former members or members they had punished in a certain way. If this directive or if this step by the party beginning process to expel somebody else a few months after you have opened up for other members you have offended or who have taken offense at the running of the party to come back, don't you think it is counterproductive in a way?
No, I agree 100% of your assertion. And that's what I'm saying, that the party leadership is confused. They don't know what they are doing. They come up with a certain decision today. Tomorrow they're doing something different. So I'm saying that the MPP National Executive is weak, ineffective, and they cannot make any difference for the party cohesion or unity until they elect new national executives.
Doc, I'm grateful. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Noble.
Dr. Samuel Afriye is a political analyst speaking with us there. Let's bring the thoughts also of Professor Samuel Edujemfi, a political historian. Prof, I'd like to say good morning to you and a Happy New Year.
Good morning, my brother.
This is coming from the camp of the NPP. Very fresh news this morning. They are beginning process to expel Professor Frimpong Boateng. Let's look at a few things. The time that it is happening, all the circumstances that have surrounded the NPP recently. From where you sit as a political historian, we thought that the NPP had finally been able to deal with a lot of its internal wranglings because it has just a few days to a major internal election of the party. And this is coming this morning. How does that strike you?
To your viewers, the truth of the matter is that what is undergirding this situation is a long history of party hijackers who are not interested in the destiny of the party, but to use it as a machine or a force for personal aggrandizement. Is it not the case that the party historically has evolved and has built capacity for itself? And not too long ago, it was known to be that party that had individuals with a lot of intellectual acumen and were able to build the party through catharsis in the sense of dissent or contrary views or opinion. And MPP's own internal democratic credentials, among other things, held. And it was said that the party itself has contributed to Ghana's democratic credentials and gains over time. And for that matter, it was anticipated that such strong internal party arrangement has a tendency or proclivity to shape our national discourse. But we have seen also, not too long ago, when the current crop of executives took over on the back of a party that was deeply fragmented because Abnejija Pompola, Wintani Afoko and others were removed. And the agenda was Machiavellianism, among other things, to eliminate all opponents therein to ensure that somebody had political capital. That gave it to the presidency of Mr. Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, and also Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. They stayed in power for 8 years. By the time their 8 years was over, there was a lot of agitation on the street for the economic challenges Ghanaians were going through. The party's leadership were young men who people believe had both wisdom, tact, knowledge, and zeal to be able to play both black and white keys, working with the old to cement the future of the party. But the performance of the party itself in government had made it lose confidence and also the kind of support that the state had for it in terms of the populace who went to vote from time to time. The challenge also was that they had a candidate who could not leverage because his image was also tainted as a result of the government he was keenly part of or served as a core member thereof. So fundamentally, there was a challenge within the party. The internal party conflict, wrangling, have not been dissolved. Today, it's still well and alive. And one of the things we have been able to follow through over time is that anybody who had a contrary view was removed. Anybody who had a dissent was attacked. And anyone who wanted the, if you like, the harsh rays of the sun of politics to shine within the party was also curtailed or muzzled. And so what we see today is a certain professor from Pomboaten who has been vociferous, who has been outspoken, and among other things, shared his thoughts as both as a politician and also as an intellectual to speak the truth to power and also to his own party. It has not earned him a lot of good or goodwill and good name. And his party have decided to do him in because they perceive that by shining the light on the party to expose the state of decadence of the party is rather, if you like, deepening the woes of the party. But if the NPP executive consider the party as a brand, then they ought to have done better and not allow hijackers in themselves and others to hijack the party. What they have done so far is not anything good to write them about. It is rather much ado about nothing. And I believe that statements like that which Professor Frimpong Boateng is attributed to are statements that are really reflecting on the true state of the NPP. It is not only fake, it is a party that does not have legal locus to proceed unless it is able to recalibrate even in the foreseeable future.
I see. But let's take a few steps back, Prof, and understand, the comment that Professor Frimpong Boateng made. Let's have a conversation on that. The comment made by Professor Frimpong Boateng, some are interpreting it as a subtle campaign attempt for one of the 5 candidates going into the primaries of the party on the 31st of January. Say again, Prof. Any of them but for Dr. Bawumia, because he said that voting for Dr. Bawumia would be a train wreck for the party.
Yeah, my brother, if you want me to comment on this, for me, I am of the view strongly that I do not think that the MPP can stick its neck out to say that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can win the 2028 elections, even though it is not too near, but it is also not too far. There are several factors, there are several questions I would love him to answer, and I'm going to put those questions out very soon on a personal level, looking through the prism of history and some of the things he represents, within the MPP and what he has put for over time. I think that my questions will seek for answers, but also potentially to see whether he'll be able to answer these questions to position himself well going forward. I think there are critical junctures in the history of the MPP, and the MPP cannot overlook the fact that if you had a flag bearer who went into elections and lost woefully, and you want to repackage, rebrand him, and bring him, you do not want to assume that you can have 100% bet on him. So far as he devised opinion around this time, even amongst other things, one of the key actors, Kennedy Gapon, if you tell you that the party's ranks are not united as to who leads the party, and that in itself shows that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not popular. And these are things we don't have to behave like ostriches and behave like we do not understand the science of politics. It is very symbolic if the MPP itself today, is pretending that it doesn't see that the opinion is divided within the party, and therefore it is going to be difficult for them to reconcile their ranks and bring themselves together to win victory, especially under the candidature or leadership of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Then it is also shameful that they are refuting science. You see, the internal politics itself is important, but they should ask themselves, does this gentleman stand to be able to galvanize support for the party countrywide? Looking at the nature of abysmal performance he had in the northern and upper regions, including his own socio-cultural, customary and political enclaves in the northern and upper regions. There are critical questions to ask. And look, let any well-meaning Ghanaian and well-meaning MPP member not sit on the fence and allow the hijackers to dictate the future of Ghana's democracy, because MPP needs to survive, to play a role in Ghana's democratic credentials.
And finally, Prof, the response of the party, the steps they are taking, beginning processes to expel him based on Professor Frimpong Boateng's comments, do you think...
We advise to the executives and to where the support are quite obvious that if they don't touch Professor Frimpong Boateng well, they may as well follow suit over time and write this date down. They think Ghanaians are playing games with our democracy, and they think that the party MPP belongs only to them. I've said that some of us have not been too, we are not too old, but we have seen things in this country. We have seen how this country's, if you like, democracy has evolved over time, and how people will roll on the floor. I've shared my own family anecdotes to show how my mother will roll on the floor when elections are called out in the 90s. And when the tide is changing, how she'll be crying. People have paid the price and followed to hope that Ghana's democracy will look something like this and even better. So they should sit there and misbehave. And let's see what happens. If Ghanaians would allow MPP to die, or if they would also bury their own MPP. Let's watch them and see how they play games with their party.
Prof, I'd like to thank you so much for your time this morning.
Right.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. Professor Samuel Du Gyamfi is a political historian speaking with us there.
Them say you better than me. Trust no one and if I
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Otonado!
Coming to the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite stars, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming games, and there are some interesting names.
Pull up! The weekend is here and it's time to turn up. Get your dancing shoes on, Lego.
We really do have it all. It's a premium mix of information and entertainment every single day on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you.
One winner, one historic night. Tiki and the Quams at Chedia Kwekushai, Ivy Hollers and DNA. They go head to head in a battle of vocal dexterity, electrifying performances and dazzling dance steps in the mentor finale. Who walks away with the ultimate prize? Find out live at the National Theatre on Sunday, 25th January 2026 at 8 p.m. sharp. Ticket are 50 Ghana cedis only. The stage is set. The votes and performances decide it all. To push your favorite contestant to the grand prize, dial star 713 star 13 hash, star 713 star 13 hash, or download the MG Reality app. Vote now and keep your dream alive. Vote now and keep their dream alive as well. Be there live at the National Theatre and then cheer your contestant to victory. It will be an exciting experience. Tickets are only selling at 50 Ghana cedis. 6 finalists, 1 winner, 1 historic night. Tiki and the Quams at Chedia Kwekushai, battle of vocal dexterity, and then electrifying performances. Auditions are here. Kumasi auditions hit Micklin Hotel on the 18th of January 2026 from 8 a.m. and their crowd auditions follow at the TV3 premises on the 20th of January 2026 also from 8 a.m. One stage, big dreams, the search begins. So if you've got the TV3 premises on the 20th of January 2026. also from 8 a.m. Talented Kids Season 17, where talent finds a stage.
The Bank of Ghana, due to what has happened since 2022, we are not in a position to shoulder those costs going forward. As we speak, we are having a conversation with the minister to see if they can reimburse us even for those costs that were passed on to Bank of Ghana since 2024. So going forward, the key thing or the key question is who takes charge of the costs incurred in that exercise? The goal for oil or the G4 since May of last year, we had to shut that down. An external audit is underway currently, and that entire program is being audited. The goal for reserves, that is the G4R. There also there's an external audit that's been authorized by the Bank of Ghana board. Both from when it started until the end of 2024, thereabouts. We believe that going forward, what we have to do is to reform them, to reduce the cost further, to treat them as quasi-fiscal interventions. The net loss for the goal for reserves, the loss in 2023 was 1 billion and 54.84 Ghana cedis. Then in 2024, the net loss for the gold for oil was 1.8 billion Ghana cedis in 2024. On the other hand, the net loss for the gold for reserves in 2024 was 3.8 billion Ghana cedis.
To sell gold and make profit is easy. You just have to know your cost. And you just have to price at a discount that absorbs your cost. and gives you a marginal profit. That is easy. Anybody can do that. But in 2022, when this program was being launched, the Bank of Ghana knew at the time that gold was already being bought in the open market by all manner of people, mostly foreigners, at the black market rate, the informal exchange rate, retail rate, if I can put it that way, and at the world market price, within a discount range of 1% to 2%. And you can ask any gold trader. That was how gold was being bought in 2021, 2022, 2022, and 2023. And that is how gold has always been bought. So when Bank of Ghana was coming in, Bank of Ghana was not like gold bond. PMMC did not have the market regulation and enforcement powers that the gold board has to deal with leakages and smuggling. And so the Bank of Ghana decided to use price to fend off smuggling so that it will get gold for FX. Knowing very well that there will be an intrinsic cost or losses. Spot price. Nobody buys gold at spot price for the purpose of making profit. Because when you buy at spot, you can sell at spot. Dory is sold at discount to take account of freight, insurance, handling charges, to take account of commissions for buyers and all that. So you obviously run at a loss. I see. The policy justification was that we needed the forex so bad to bring about macroeconomic stability, the benefit of which will make that loss infinitesimal. That is the whole point. So it is not about somebody not having the ability.
So the gold for oil or the G4O, since May of last year, we had to shut that down. An external audit is underway currently, and that entire program is being audited. When the audit is complete, we are happy to share audit findings with you. Then the G4R as well. There's an external audit that the Bank of Ghana board has authorized. The gold for reserves, that is the G4R. There also there's an external audit that's been authorized by the Bank of Ghana board. Both from when it started until the end of 2024, thereabout. And then also how it operated during 2025. So these audit reports, when ready, we are happy to discuss with your committee. But I must say that these are programs that are or more or less were introduced for specific to address specific.
First of all, it doesn't surprise me. Essentially, what the governor is saying is that the benefit of having increased reserves, which is what is sustaining a lower value of the cedi, goes beyond the trading losses that we may incur. What he's now saying is that if the trading will involve losses, and yet as a country we say that gold board is good and increasing reserves is good, then he wants the whole country to bear the cost of and not just back. Argument makes sense. If we keep insisting that gold board good. Gold board has helped increase our reserves. The trading that is done has helped keep the value of the cedi, and that is a benefit to all of us. Then let's pay for it. That's what he's saying. Don't let the central bank remember. The central bank itself is not in a particularly good financial situation. And so what he's saying is that don't let me bear the brunt of this issue. If it is good for all of us, then let all of us pay for it. I think it is an argument that is worthy of listening to, and it is important that we all debate this, remembering that one of the things that is also important is that let's have transparency, let's have accountability, let's know who this money is going to, how our training losses are occurring, so that when we are bearing the loss of the country, we can have an open, frank discussion as to what these losses mean and why we have to pay for it. But let us not forget. Essentially, gold trading allows us to retain the greater value of the CB in country. That cannot be a bad thing. That's value to what we are doing. But let us do this efficiently. Let us do this transparently. Let us do this with accountability, so that the bill will be easier to bear. If we need to have a bill tall. I hear the IMF. The merit in that report has been acknowledged. But hey, why should we stop gold purchases when they have kept the dollar stable and relatively lower than previous years? I just say that. Listen. This is a good thing. Let's do it. Let's continue to do it. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's fix it. Let's make it accountable. Let's make it transparent. Let's make it as efficient as possible. And let's bear the cost together. I have to agree. If it is good for us, if it is costing us money, why shouldn't we pay for it?
Sunrise on 3FM, the best in the morning.
And it makes complete sense.
The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM.
As a country, we are saying we've kept we like the city to be stable. We like the city if there's a developmental cost of owning our own economy, of taking a bigger chunk of the value of the seed of the gold we export. By all means, let's do it. Of increasing our reserves. By all means, let's do it. Some money to. Let's make it accountable. Let's make it efficient. But let's pay for it. Even if we need to at all. Listen. Call for review. Simply a call for the three things I've talked about. Accountability, transparency, and efficiency. And it says, let's review it. If we look at what the trading model and it meets our objectives that we've outlined. It is also transparent. It is also accountable. It is also efficient. Then we pay for it. I think that's as reasonable a demand as the central government can make. And who has to pay for it? It's the people of Ghana. Who is overseeing the affairs of the people of Ghana? The Honorable Minister of Finance, Dr. Tufosu. I'm not saying change the objective. They're saying let it be transparent. Let it be accountable. And let it be efficient. The objective is admirable. Of our small and artisanal miners. Let's do so. If it will stop smuggling, let's do so. If it will increase our reserves, let's do so. But I repeat, efficiency, transparency, and accountability should be the watchwords of the decision. Finance. the cost of this trading model.
As well. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, took his turn to face the Public Accounts Committee yesterday.
3 FM
Sunrise. Let me tell you a few of the excerpts from their Public Accounts Committee engagement. He explained that the gold for oil policy was suspended or cancelled because of operational challenges and significant financial losses. He told the committee that since it stopped, there hasn't been fuel shortages or long pump queues, which was one of the policy's main objectives. He also disclosed losses in ongoing audits, revealing that the Gold for Oil program recorded substantial net losses, around 1.4 billion cedis in 2024, and that an external audit had been authorized and is currently underway for both the Gold for Oil and Gold for Reserves frameworks to clarify figures and guide the next steps. He also called for reforms and national cooperation. He defended the Gold for Reserves framework as still very relevant for building reserves, but admitted that there are inefficiencies that must be fixed. But one of the major things he also spoke about was his appeal against politicization. He says that these issues should not be politicized, noting that the structural problems and financial leakages predate the current year, and called for constructive engagement rather than finger pointing.
Sunrise.
We'll be having a conversation on the back of this shortly. I've been joined by two experts in the field. Austin Braco Powers is a private legal practitioner, and Dr. Ramsey Inusa is the Director of Policy Research at the United Party.
Sunrise.
Gentlemen, good to have you. Thank you so much for joining us, and good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year to you. It's my first time meeting you in 2026.
Yes.
How has the year been so far? So far, so good?
So far, so good. So far, so good.
How is work and politics? How's it going?
Well, you know, it's a balance of two titans, I would say. I mean, but, you know, you have to look at the collective goal and interest of the people. So that is what motivates us to always sacrifice time to come and discuss teething issues of national concern.
Yeah.
And as we say, for God and for country.
For God and for country.
Yes.
And yesterday, Dr. Siama, he was at Parliament yesterday. He took his stand to face the committee, and a lot of revelations that has generated a lot of reactions from various quarters.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm sure you watched his engagement yesterday with the committee, and I'll start with you, Dr. Inusa. From where you sit, his responses to Gold for Oil, Gold for Reserves, the entire conversation, cancellation of some, calling for depoliticization. What did you make of his appearance and his utterances there?
Well, first and foremost, I must say that as a responsible opposition party, being the United Party, I think that, in my own best candid opinion, without any influence or bias whatsoever, Dr. Asiama has reignited and brought back confidence into the Ghanaian economy.
Right.
Because of his prudent economic management as the central bank's governor. Dr. Asiama's yesterday's appearance before the Public Accounts Committee was coupled with transparency and honesty and professionalism against all odds. As you've heard within the political quarters, as some have suggested and called for his head or his removal from that office. This is a governor that today, together with his prudent management of the economy and collaboration with the Ministry of Finance, has been able to stabilize our macroeconomic environment. Today, I asked the people of Ghana, what is the inflation rate? It's a single-digit number, 5.3%. The monetary policy rate has declined from 27% to now 18%. The debt to GDP ratio has declined from 60.8% to now 48%, significantly. And this is unprecedented under the ages of our fourth republic. So this is a leader that we need to commend and we need to support and guide him towards this journey in stabilizing our economy so that we can have transformational growth. They have been lucky, when I say they, the NDC government have been lucky to have access to the great transformational plan of the United Party. And we will continue to be a responsible opposition. As you know, that we are a centrist party. We're neither left nor right. And that we will work for the collective interests of Ghana. And that is why our popular mantra is Ghana first. And so today, I want to urge Ghanaians to celebrate facts, not propaganda or not mischief. But beyond these issues of the Gold for Oil and Gold for Reserve program, you know, there are certain fundamental teething issues of our economy. And I believe that it is something that we need to discuss as a country,
right,
and see how best we collectively mitigate all these issues going forward. Gold is a commodity that is appreciated by value year on year. And we have been blessed with a lot of gold reserves. We have the second largest reserves of gold in Africa.
True.
And we are number one in terms of production. What can we do to add more value to this gold, right?
So we stop exporting
So
them
we stop
raw.
exporting in this raw form. Under the aegis of the Great Transformational Plan and certain radical policies posited by the very honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin, is that we should reduce the amount of gold exports in this raw form by 60%. This is number one. So all gold that is mined in this country will not be exported. 60% of it will not be exported. What are we looking at? We're looking out for 60% value addition. And so if you look at our gold exports in terms of its destination, UAE and India receive most of our gold. Now, if you look at India, what do they use this gold for? It supplies their industrial base. When I talk about industry, I mean the jewelry industry. And India's jewelry industry currently has a market value of $90 billion. And by 2030, is going to rise by $120 to $130 billion projected. My brother, it is prudent unto us to have a vision that
we do it here.
We do it here and let the Indians come and pick it up. So I have even proposed that the government, together with the private sector, should set up a gold city. We have historic antecedents. We were once the Gold Coast, right? From history, China has replicated a very phenomenal economic policy that tackles globalization, called the Belt and Road Initiative.
Yes.
And you know that is tied to the old Silk Road of ancient China and ancient Asia.
Decades ago. Beginning globalization.
Do you get it? They have replicated SEM, but with what? A new economic agenda. Why can't we go back and visit our history and repackage our history and bring about a gold city or a gold enclave where it will be one of the largest trading area for golds as far as the trade of gold is concerned?
Will that not be the tendency to keep, trading it in its raw form? Are we able to refine it and then process it so that we stop,
That is what I'm talking about. So within that enclave, we should have an LBMA certified refinery, which we don't have currently in Ghana. So the Bank of Ghana buying its gold, it has to take it outside to get it refined before it comes and deposited in its reserves, because all reserves of central banks have the LBMA standards for their gold reserves.
Right.
And you cannot buy gold from ASMs and come and put it in your reserve and say that is your gold reserve. That is not the standard. So I believe that under this gold city, we should have a refinery. We should also have incentives, fiscal incentives for foreign investors. So can you imagine Rolex being manufactured in Ghana? Can you imagine Patek Philippe? Can you imagine Cartier, right? And all these high-end jewelry brands operating within this enclave. I mean, we sit in this country where you remember the popular fabric called dashiki or...
Yes.
Where is it made? In China. The Chinese studied us and realized that they produce it and supplied it to us. There's a market for it. We have a multi-billion-dollar market in India for jewelry. What are we doing?
Take advantage
of it.
I see. Let me come to you, Austin. You also listened to the finance minister yesterday. I don't want to call it the governor. Sorry, I don't want to call it a back and forth, but the engagement with the Public Accounts Committee. Yeah. Did anything stand out for you?
No, I think, as articulated by Doctor, the governor was straightforward and sounded in the beginning apolitical, which I think was good.
In the beginning?
Yes, apolitical, which was good. But largely he materially confirmed everything, what the IMF reported. Remember when the IMF earlier reported that there were operational losses under the G4R, the Gold for Reserves program. Some actors within this government
denied it.
And they undermined the data. So he validated the IMF's data. And what that does is that, or what that did to what the government, some actors had earlier done, is to call their earlier attempt into question. As to whether or not the IMF, but I have maintained that the IMF may be criticized for structural, or maybe criticized on structural and policy grounds. But when it comes to data integrity, the IMF data had rarely been questioned. So we need to be careful sometimes. And you know what this episode reflects? It tells us that there's this recurring challenge, political challenge, where you defend the indefensible when you are in government, only to admit or acknowledge hard truths when political pressure mounts. So that is one thing that we need to be mindful of, and elements of this government must be careful. When the thing is black, irrespective of whether or not you are in power or not.
Based on the admission of the operational losses, the chair of the Development Committee says costs. They don't want to call it a loss, but regardless how you call it, the sum 1.8 billion cedis we're looking at that went somewhere, or that we lost from the operations. Coming on the back of the concern you have about how they tried to cover it up or not to accept it or not to acknowledge it, do you think it will make them learn a few lessons going forward into this year and the work of Gold Board itself?
No, I think we should rather brace up for worse, because the thing is that even the debate about losses and costs, I don't understand. It is semantics. It is disingenuous. Yeah. Because the thing is that if you have been given $200 million to trade or to buy gold, and you ended up not getting goods worth that amount, what do you say is cost? you've lost. So I think we should rather not be. This is a fanciful debate. When we talk about cost and loss, it's a fanciful debate.
We're just playing with English.
Yes, that will not help anybody. The thing is that there is an inherent cost based on the trading model. The trading model itself is a bit. It gives way for the operational losses.
There's room for something like this to happen.
So the trading model itself gave room for the operational losses, which is why we need to remodel it.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it's no longer ideal for us. The thing is that we are getting the benefit. The city is stabilized. The economy is
fuel prices are down,
bouncing back.
Yeah.
We are feeling the impact. But must we continue to incur these operational losses? Looking at the amount, and even ask yourself, look at the amount we are asking, the basis of which we went to IMF under the previous government. You are losing almost $214 million.
Yes.
Compound it maybe by 2 or 3 years, and ask yourself how much would you need IMF again? You are getting hard currency. So I think it's good that we've identified some of these issues. Let's work on it. And I like the response of the governor. He said he will meet with the board of both the Bank of Ghana and the Gold Board. And they will invite some experts to look at how they will revise the trading model, which will help us. Do you understand? But there's one thing that stood out, and I was discussing it with Doc. You know, I feel when you have an opportunity to appear before high-level accountability forums such as the Public Accounts Committee, you must have the right data, and when you are communicating, you must give the right information. Figures matter, particularly when it comes to institutional coherence. And with an institution like Bank of Ghana, this is a foremost institution that, in fact, produces data for the World Bank. So for the Bank of Ghana governor, earlier the governor had said that the operational losses under the G4O, the Gold for Oil program, in 2024 was $1.82 billion cedis. Then later, he had a debate with the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, where he then changed his position to say that the operational loss in 2024 was 3.8, and I was surprised.
You couldn't understand the difference in the figures.
Earlier you had said
1.8 billion.
Then later you changed your stance and said 3.8 billion, to the point that even when the chairperson said, your own report, financials, the one published on your website, says 1.8. So where do you stand? And he maintained 3.8, but later said he was going to reconcile. I think it was needless. If you do not readily have the data, just tell the chairperson that.
Then stay away.
Yes, but do not engage in such debate, because what that tells the ordinary Ghanaian listening to you is that you are not armed with the relevant fact. And such platform, you must not go and create. In fact, you see, what this does is to invite unnecessary controversy. Then, because she was also part of the chairperson was part of the previous administration.
A deputy minister.
Exactly, a deputy minister of finance. She also wanted to defend the previous government and were trying to undermine you by saying that your data or your fact, you do not have the right fact. And that does not, in fact, engender confidence, because this is a governor who's supposed to have data. So my caution is that, Governor, whenever you have an opportunity to appear before such accountability forum, have your data. If you don't have your data, relax. Just tell them you defer or you get back to them. That's the simplest option you could have done. So I think he set the right tone. He did the right thing. I'm looking at future. He must make sure that whatever he does, and he told them that let's attack this or address this dispassionately. Let's not be partisan or engage in political debate. That is what we need. We need to go forward. And I'm saying that we also need to tell Ghanaians, particularly the opposition political parties, including Doc's party, that when government does something and it's good, it's good. When government does something and it's bad, it's bad. Let us not wade into matters and say because government has done it or belittle such efforts. It does not help anybody.
But also, I want to pick your thoughts on this, and I'll come back to you, Alhaji. Do you have finality now on who made the losses, the operational losses, the operational cost? The Bank of Ghana or Gold Board?
No, I think clearly it was a Bank of Ghana. Don't forget that it's a bank. The thing is that it's a Bank of Ghana that incurred the losses, not Gold Board. I think earlier.
So I asked this question to get to this one. That does it not then play into the hands of the Gold Board speakers who are saying that no, Gold Board has not incurred any loss because it does not do that.
No, the thing is that earlier, if you monitor the conversation itself, it shifted great boundaries. Earlier, it was an outright denial that there wasn't any operational
from
loss
anywhere.
Yes. So that was a major, in fact, information put out by the Gold Board leadership that there was no operational loss. Then later the narrative changed that, in fact, it was the Bank of Ghana and the Gold Board had not incurred any loss. And later, even the Gold Board CEO said, per their financials, they had even made profits. And that was an admission that there was now an operational loss. So, in fact, the admission by the later admission by the Gold Board CEO does not absolve them of their earlier commentary that nobody incurred any loss. Because don't forget that they tried to undermine the IMF data to the point that to say that the IMF data was wrong, and the IMF was trying to mischaracterize the government,
and they sought to forcefully push it in the minds of many Ghanaians that what the data that IMF has given to us is not
exactly was false.
Yes, it may not be correct.
So later on, when they shifted their grounds, that is where Ghanaians should be asking themselves. Now, Sami Jefi is saying that yes, there were operational losses, but these losses were inherent in the trading model. Yes, you should have said this in the beginning, because already under the previous administration we were incurring operational losses. So if you incur operational, it's nothing new. But the admission, that is the political fidelity that I always see. Integrity, data integrity.
Honesty, yeah. It seemed at the beginning was not there at all.
You see, Ghanaians voted for this government. In fact, voted for a change of government because they were looking for, or they were demanding, a government that is honest, transparent, and responsible about difficult fiscal realities. So when there are realities, tell us. But you cannot, in fact, undermine an institution like IMF because today it appears politically expedient to do so. But the same IMF will have to support you. You go to the IMF to help you cushion and even remodel some of your policies. The politicians must learn from this. And I think Doc's party, that is in opposition, should also learn from it, because when they got opportunity to rule or to govern in some years, they will do a better job.
So, Dr. Inusa, going forward, based on the comments from the BOG governor and then the positions of Gold Board and the communication generally, what lesson should all the stakeholders in the sector, what lessons should they learn on how to improve? Of course, they may be thinking of how to reduce the operational losses to the barest minimum.
Yeah, definitely. Every policy that runs ought to have a review, and it should hold some form of stakeholder engagement from the top to the bottom, which I think they have concurred to such recommendation, and they are going to meet up with the Gold Board and other sector players within the mining and gold space. So I think that is commendable. We have issues, structural issues as a country. And if you look at the IMF policy notes or 2025, it tells you that, indeed, the reason why we suffered due to COVID-19 and the Russia-Ukraine war was not solely because of what was happening within the global stage, but the weaknesses in our economic structure.
Our structures, our systems.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I believe that, knowing this very well, it is prudent to review and reassess and then try and put in things or find solutions to mitigate these crises. For example, the gold for oil policy. We, as a people, did not know of the names of the aggregators, the off-takers, how much the gold was being sold for. There was a lot of opacity as compared to the transactions of the Gold Board. So to this morning, I must commend Sami Jemfi. To me, I would say he is my best performing CEO for any SOE for the year 2025.
Right.
For how significant he's been able to mitigate the issues of gold smuggling, how he's been able for the first time to surpass the total output of the large-scale mining in Ghana, because ASM produces more than even the large-scale mining players.
Well, that then will introduce the conversation about the proper clarity, how we can draw the line of find Galamsey gold and then non-Galamsey gold.
So this is also a real issue.
Yes.
Traceability, as they say. I think that they should put in systems in place, more systems in place. And indeed, they have different tiers of aggregators. So the aggregators, and I'm glad that they've also established a task force. So the task force ought to go down to the mining level to see the activities of these aggregators and to ensure that indeed they are buying gold from licensed ASMs and not Galamseyers. I think that is a very legitimate concern, because if we are talking about all these positive macroeconomic indicators and our environment is continuously degrading, then what is the game?
Did we go or did we come?
Did we go or did we come? So I believe that it is very, very important. But here's a case, right? If you look at a gold for oil policy, it talks about what? Supply, steady supply, and price stability.
Great.
But I think that beyond that, if you look at the history of gold for oil, one of the countries that implemented gold for oil was Israel during the Ramadan war between Israel and the Arabs. And when Saudi Arabia, which had powers in OPEC, placed an embargo on Israel, Israel used gold to circumvent that embargo to buy fuel from, they call them friendly nations.
Right.
And even America suffered from that.
Yes.
And if you look at the policy by Richard Nixon at that time, one of the policies that they implemented within their road transport system was to reduce the speed limit. And in natural fact, when you reduce the speed limit, you reduce the demand for fuel.
Of course.
And the time it takes for a car to get back to the pump to refill. All these were multifaceted approach to what? Stabilize our macroeconomy due to these embargoes and this crisis. Did we have same in Ghana? We didn't have same. You've not diversified the economy. Today, we have about 60% of our land, or 70% of our land that is arable. We're talking about a country like Malaysia, which came to learn how to plant oil palm from this country. And in a year, Malaysia rakes in $20 billion from oil palm. It's even an Islamic country. Imagine if they drank palm wine. How much they would even make from even the proceeds of the tree itself. You can imagine. So we need to think beyond these traditional export commodities.
Because
gold.
eventually they may not sustain as a
Exactly. If it depletes, what are we going to do? Singapore. Look at Singapore today. Singapore is heavily industrialized. They've built a robust financial and IT sector. And it's taking over the world. We need generational thinkers. We need visionary thinkers. And Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin, through his great transformational plan, and I entrust Ghanaians to go and download a copy of this GTP and read. We have talked about various industries that I think that if government should invest heavily, we would make a lot of money. Today, we enjoy exports of only crude oil. Now we're even producing about 126,000 barrels per day, right? We don't add value to this. And it is an opportunity for us to even invest in what we call the petrochemical hub, where fertilizer alone can be a game changer for us as a country and as a continent. Today, Dangote is making a lot of money from his refinery and producing fertilizers. What are we doing? So when we talk about a go for oil policy, another issue that I feel we need to diversify in our road transport system is to do with the source of energy for our road transport system. We depend on diesel and petrol and LPG. Today, the world is moving towards what? A cleaner and greener economy. We're talking about EV vehicles. What are we doing about that? Our import bill alone every month is about $400 million. Can you imagine if we're able to slash our import bill by 50% with the introduction of EV vehicles and even assembling them in Ghana and taking advantage of the lithium deposits that we have to produce batteries?
We'll have to build the plants.
My brother, Ghana loses $3 billion to corruption each year. Get this fact right. Ghana loses $3 billion to corruption each year. If we close the loopholes, this $3 billion alone can invest in these sectors that I'm talking about. Or even be a guarantee for us to go and even borrow and invest in these sectors. Fertilizer has an inelastic demand because we eat all the time. Farmers will definitely buy to be able to turn around. If we're able to go and borrow and build a petrochemical hub in this country where we can produce fertilizer, plastics, and the likes, my brother, we will be able to amortize our loan in due time. So this is what I'm talking about. We need to diversify the economy. We need to strengthen the structures of our economy. And indeed, the cost of borrowing, also, I believe that it has dropped, but I think that it should go towards a single-digit number.
The cost of borrowing?
Yes, so that you here seated here, I'm sure you have some wild, wicked business ideas. But of course, part of the challenge, I'm sure, is that, hey, who go give me cash?
I'll be you here.
So I think that in the long run, let's look at long-term, long-term interventions to stabilize our macroeconomy. This gold reserve program, right? Gold for reserve program. The risk is to do with the prices of gold in the global market. If gold declines by even 10% or 20%, my brother, we are in trouble. So we need to have other streams that brings in the dollars for us. That's why I'm saying that if we invest heavily in our industrial base and diversify the industries that produce, I think that will go a long way in mitigating these challenges that we're dealing with as a country.
Okay. I'll get back to you, Doc, before you take leave of us, but I wanted to pick the thought of lawyer Austin Bracco Powers on this angle that we want to look at. So going forward, we've spoken about the need for transparency and integrity in terms of the communication. But if we're looking at 2025 and beyond for the work of Gold Board and the BOG, so that we do proper opportunity costs and trade-offs in terms of the impact that the operations is having on the economy. How do we do that for 2025?
So I think the first focus should be a high-profile meeting. They need a high-profile meeting because there must be clear communication. The Gold Board is barely a year old. It's barely a year old, and even though they've been able to chalk some successes, there are inherent challenges. Some of their models, like we intimated earlier, their models need reworking. Again, the issue about Galamsey, the traceability of the gold that they are purchasing. This is very important because the Gold Board said this year they will be implementing the traceability technology or the system. We are hoping that at least there will be clearly communicated information in regards to how that is going to be done and whether it is sustainable. These are matters we should be looking at because chances are that if we don't take care, there's a likelihood that in future our gold may be banned, particularly because of the way it is damaging the environment.
KYCs and all that.
You get it because the thing is that don't forget when it comes to cocoa, now they scrutinize. They make sure that you are not employing underage minors.
That's right.
And they are making sure that you don't engage in this child trafficking and child labor. These are matters we must also be considered because if we don't sanitize our system, if the government is not forthright and committed to this anti-Galamsey fight, then it will have a crippling effect.
Counterproductive,
Yes, a crippling effect on the economy. They must, even though the conversation around Galamsey, the public debate had waned, we must reignite the conversation. Is the government doing what it is expected to do? Or is the government doing what it communicated to the public that it is doing? We must track them, public accountability. We must open the opportunity. Let Ghanaians see what is going on. Other than that, there will be worse consequences for our economy.
And finally, from you, Doctor, let's still stay on the concern about Galamsey, how Gold Board may be directly or indirectly, contributing to Galamsey, although government seems to be fighting it enough. How do we marry the two? You've spoken about traceability already, but beyond that, is there a way that we can be very certain that the operations of Gold Board is not, encouraging some forms of mining that may not be very legal?
I think that they need to bring about a clear policy framework of KYC, know your customer, right?
Okay.
As a first step. I believe that they talked about the issues of also the use of excavators within these Galamsey regions, and that they are tracking them using geofencing technology, right? I believe that these collective technological innovation solutions that they want to input, together with other prudent policies or policy intervention, would help mitigate. But again, it is also a matter of human factor.
Yeah.
Those that we entrust to lead these operations,
can they do it?
Can they do it honestly and be virtuous and uphold to the values?
We've had interministerial committee on illegal mining.
Illegal mining.
Yeah.
Operation Vanguard, Hot, Recover One, the Charles BCU scandal and all that. Ecosystem. So indeed, I mean, as my one of my mentors would say, he said, Jesus Christ lived, he brought the Bible, Prophet Muhammad got the revelation of the Quran, but yet still, people of faith do not follow. So you can have all these policies, you can have all these guidelines, but there's also the human factor.
The human being.
Indeed, our traditional authorities are also complicit in this, but you cannot also blame them, because if you look at Article 257 of the 1992 Constitution, it only entrusts the president, the executive, with all our mineral rights. But here we are, a traditional authority or a chief sits down in maybe Sefi, and he has the allodial rights to the land. And people will just sit in Accra and just sign a document, and the next thing you realize, somebody is on his land mining without his knowledge.
There's nothing he can do.
There's nothing he can do. So that is why some of them are also complicit in this act.
Right.
So I believe that in going forward as well, we need to amend Article 257 as part of our constitutional review to ensure that our traditional authorities become co-trustees of our minerals, so that collectively they can also help support government to fight the repugnant act and menace of Galamsey.
Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I wish you a blessed day.
We've been speaking with Austin Bracco Powers, a private legal practitioner, and Dr. Ramsey Yunusa, Director, Political Research at the United Party. Doc, before you go, how is the UP doing? How is Alan?
The UP is doing fantastically well. Nice. We have had new constituency offices springing up. And so, yes, Ghanaians want a responsible opposition, not an opposition that would propel propaganda coupled with mischief, right? We are here to give the NDC a run for their money, and we will be responsible in exposing the facts and the rots as far as their governance of this country is concerned. Indeed, let me give a reminder to the NDC that the people of Ghana are still waiting for the $21.9 billion that they promised to recover under the aegis of the Operation Recover All Loot. Yes.
And the 24-hour economy as well.
Yes, and the 24-hour economy as well. And let me also say that we as a responsible opposition are open to work with the government to support them achieve the collective goal of leapfrogging the dreams and aspirations of the Ghanaian people. Because we believe that if Ghana wins, we all win.
Thank you. I want to wish a happy birthday to...
I want problems, always. This man.
I want to hear this. I'll tell you about this. This is what you want to use your life for.
Why are you running?
Happy birthday to you.
And if you.
Happy birthday.
This one is to Emmanuel Nyame Adom Apenyo. You are a gifted child, and we can't stop praising God for bringing you into our lives. Lots of love from mom and dad. Happy birthday to you, Emmanuel Nyame Adom Apenyo. And this one says, happy birthday, Mr. Frederick Owusu-Kumi. God bless you more. Cheers from Abiam and all your friends. And a happy birthday to Mr. Frederick Owusu. DJ Abiam says, God bless you. And Kofi Otridako, Director of Diaspora and Affairs at the Office of the President. And this one is coming from Johnny Hughes. Happy birthday to you, Kofi Otridako, Director of Diaspora and Affairs at the Office of the President. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. We wish you long life and prosperity. This is what the people like to say. Wish you, how do people say it? WULLNP.
WWNLP.
How do you say it in a
Walnut.
Well, look at this. Nura, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You have news at 10 for us.
Yes.
What should we expect? What is happening?
Oh, everything is happening around the world.
Oh,
and in Ghana.
Before that, I like your phone.
Action film, steady camera, filming.
Oh, somebody show Nura's phone. It's Corey there. Somebody should show the phone.
Nobody's showing it. It's hitting.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll see you again same time tomorrow. My name is Noble Cross Viana. On behalf of the entire production team, thank you so much for spending your morning with us. DJ Abiam, Sisters Don Hulu, Frederick Kunzo Tiani, Corey came to join us. And then Jerome as well. Good morning to you. Thank you. Thank you. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.